Hi, kindergarten. I have a story for you today, and our story today is called The Biggest, Best Snowman. So I want you to take a look at this story and look how big this snowman is compared to this little girl. Our story today is written by Marjorie Kuehler, illustrated by Will Hillenbrand. So if you remember, we talked about the illustrator. Who remembers what the illustrator did? You remember? The illustrator is the person who drew the pictures in the story. So we always say that's the artist because I know I couldn't draw pictures this well in a story. Let's get started. Look at this beautiful house. It's big, isn't it? Little Nell lived with Big Mama, Big Sarah, and Big Lizzie in a big house in a big snowy woods. Big Mama, Big Sarah, and Big Lizzie had big blustery voices. They had big talky friends. They had big loud parties. When Little Nell asked, "Can I help?" Big Mama, Big Sarah, and Big Lizzie shook their heads. "No, you can't," they said. "You're too small." "Yes, I can," said Little Nell. "And no, I'm not." "No, you can't," they said. "And yes, you are." Do you think you would want to be Little Nell? I don't think I would. So Little Nell would go into the big snowy woods. She would sit and watch the snow fall from the sky. She would walk under the bare branched trees and she would play with her friends, Reindeer, Hare, and Bear Cub. So I want you to see where Little Nell's at. You see her inside the tree. It's kind of a neat little place to hang out. And then I want to show you where her friends are at. You see her friends? It's kind of neat to have animal friends, huh? One day, Bear Cub said to Little Nell, "Can you show us how to make a snowman?" "No, I can't," said Little Nell. "I'm too small." "Yes, you can," said the animals, "and no, you're not." "But I'm so small," said Little Nell. "My family won't let me do anything. I could never make a snowman." "How do you know unless you try?" asked Bear Cub. "We'll help you." Little Nell sighed. "Well, maybe," she said. Do you think she can build a snowman? I bet you guys can build an awesome snowman. Little Nell got down on her knees and she carefully patted and matted and batted the snow into a tiny ball. I don't know if you can see it, but it is really tiny, a little tiny snowball. And she rolled it and rolled it and rolled it to Reindeer, and Reindeer nudged it and nudged it and nudged it to Hare. So what happens when you take a snowball and you keep rolling it in the snow? It gets bigger, doesn't it? So now look how big it is by the time she got it down here. It's a much bigger snowball now that Reindeer has it. Hare, and Hare is like a rabbit, Hare kicked it and kicked it and kicked it to Bear Cub. And Bear Cub rolled it and rolled it and rolled it until it stopped, thud, by the edge of a big icy pond. Okay, so here is the hare, and he's going to kick the snowball, and he's rolling it through the snow. So then what's happening to the snowball? Yeah, it's getting bigger and bigger and bigger, till now look at the size of the snowball. "Now what?" asked Reindeer. "The snowman needs a middle," said Little Nell. "How do we do that?" asked Hare. Little Nell bit her lip. She got down on her knees and she carefully patted and matted and batted another tiny snowball. She rolled it and rolled it and rolled it to Reindeer, and Reindeer nudged it and nudged it to Hare, and Hare kicked it and kicked it to Bear Cub. So here she is again, starting with her little snowball, rolls it to the Reindeer. Bear Cub then rolled it and rolled it until thud, it came to a stop. He pushed it on top of the other snowball. "Now what?" he asked. So they've got the bottom and the middle. What do they need now, kindergarten? You're right, they need the head. They need the top. It needs a head, cried little Nell. She patted and matted and batted another tiny snowball, and then she rolled it to Reindeer. Reindeer nudged it to the hare, and Hare kicked it to the bear cub. This almost looks like she's making a letter. What letter does that look like she made? You're right, it looks like the letter A, doesn't it? And Bear Cub stuck it on top of the other two snowballs. Okay, now you can see the snowman. How big it is. Bear had to climb all the way up to the top to get that little snowball head on top. Little Nell and the animals stood back and looked at their snowman. Something's missing, said Hare. The face, said Little Nell. How do we do that? Asked the animals. I think we'll need help, said Little Nell. She whistled to the birds to come. Crow, Cardinal, and the Sparrow flew down from the trees. Could you make a face for our snowman? She asked. Crow fetched 2 pieces of bark for the eyes. Cardinal found an old pink sock for the nose, and Sparrow brought raisins for the mouth. Little Nell handed her green scarf to the birds. They wound it and wound it and wound it around the snowman's neck, and then they added 2 sticks for arms. The snowman was finally finished. Little Nell and the animals looked up at their creation. Wow, said the animals. Wow, said Little Nell. It was almost lunchtime, and Little Nell said goodbye to her friends. She walked home through the big snowy woods. Big Mama, Big Sarah, and Big Lizzie were waiting for her. Where have you been? They asked in their big, blustery voices. I was building a great big snowman, answered Little Nell. How could someone as little as you build a great big snowman? Asked Big Lizzie. Come and see, said Little Nell. I think this page is funny. Look, do you see her? Like Little Nell's showing them which way to go. And I think this is Big Mama, but she's pulling the other ones on the sled. So Big Mama, Big Sarah, and Big Lizzie follow Little Nell through the big snowy woods to her snowman. As they looked up, their mouths dropped open and their arms dropped to their sides. Wow, they said, you built that? Yes, I did, said Little Nell, with the help of my friends. That is the biggest, best snowman that ever was, said Big Mama. Yes, it is, said Little Nell, with a huge smile on her face. Let me show you how big the snowman turned out. It's pretty cool. Will you come and help us make a big, yummy lunch? Asked Big Sarah. No, she can't, said Big Lizzie. Look at her, look like she's over here pouting. She's still too small. Yes, I can, said Little Nell, and no, I'm not. Yes, you can, said Big Mama, and yes, you will. Big Mama gave Little Nell a big sloppy kiss. Smooch. Mwah! Big Sarah gave Little Nell a big squeezy hug. Ooch! Big Lizzie stuck her big nose in the air. Little Nell's friends lifted her to the top of the snowman. Ooh, would you guys want to go to the top? It's pretty high up there. Hooray! And there she is. Well, I hope you guys enjoyed our story today, The Biggest, Best Snowman, and you guys have a great day. Bye.